Gamers, what's good? The brand new Synchro Link event is almost starting. We had the acceleration event started just about a week ago, and now we have this one starting today. Probably already started by the time you're watching this video. So as always, what we do with these videos, we have a bunch of decks to showcase from the Discord. I'll also be showing you the main staples that you should be looking out for, and we'll be showing some replays for some of the best decks that you can see in this event. This event is looking pretty high power level, not like crazy, and one of the best things about this event is going to be that, yet again, Maxi and Duel are going to be banned. I think Shifter is banned as well, so no super long-lasting hand traps for this format, so it's bound to be a lot of fun. We're going to start by taking a look at the staples, but before that, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 20,000 subs by my birthday on March 6th. Now, we're getting awfully close to that date, and we're like about 700 away. So, look, man, if we don't get it, it's fine. I'm not going to be mad about it, but it would be pretty epic to reach that benchmark. That being said, let's get into it. So I've got a lot of decks to showcase today. I think I have, 8 decks to showcase today. Obviously, there's going to be way more than 8 decks in the event. I can't cover absolutely everything, but for this video, I'm going to be focusing on showing you the best decks, as well as some interesting picks for decks you might already have. First, though, let's check these staples out. So lots of really good hand traps this format, unlike in the Legend Anthology event where most of the hand traps were banned this time around. We have most of them, just don't have Maxi and Duel, which, I mean, that's just a W, right? It's going to be a fun event for that alone. So we have DD Crow, which could be a really good option. Snake Eye is pretty playable, even though Snake Eye Ash is banned this event. I do have a list for Snake Eye that I'll be showing you in this video. We have Effect Veiler, of course, being really good. Divine Carnot, I'm not sure how good Divine Carnot is going to be. There are some really solid, negate extra deck monsters and stuff that you're going to be seeing. Synchro decks are able to put up a lot of interruption. So this could be a good pick, depending on the list. But, it is definitely a staple you have access to. Gamma is probably going to be really good. Ghost Ogre, Ash, of course, probably going to be the most popular hand trap you see. The Ghost Bell, Lava Golem, and Kaijus. You have all the Kaijus and the Lava Golems. So if you have some type of OTK deck that uses Lava Golem or Kaijus, you should be able to play that in this event. Then, you have a bunch of targets for Thrust. Thrust is at 3, so if you want to play 2 or 3 Thrust and a couple of targets for it, you've got a bunch of them. Droplet is a good option as well. Of course, the Called By. People are going to be running hand traps, so you're probably going to want to run Called By. And, of course, the Imperm. I think Crossout is legal, too. I didn't include it in this list. You can also run Crossout, although I think it's going to be a bit harder to predict which hand traps people are running this event. So I'm not sure if Crossout is exactly worth it when it's not as predictable as the typical, you always see Ash, you always see Maxi, you always see him, so that's really just up to you guys. But yeah, some really, really good staples. Now, first off, let's go into our budget deck. And for our budget list here, we have Budget Crusadia. I kind of just threw this list together, and I didn't fill it up because I figured, you guys probably have your own UR staples and stuff like that you'd like to run in a budget build. It's just because I often get comments on these videos like, dude, I don't want to craft this super expensive deck for the event or stuff like that. So fair enough. Here's a really budget list. By the way, pay attention to the left of the screen if you want to see all the cards scrolling one by one in every single deck so that you know the names of the cards. If you don't know the name of a certain card, just pay attention to the left side of the screen in these deck showcases. But yeah, for this deck in particular, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm not even going to show you a replay because it's just Crusadia OTK. You really don't need that much. And if you guys look at this list here, not a single UR is needed to build this deck, and barely any SRs either. We're looking at, 6 SR cards total for the entire package. And this package packs a punch. Now, are these ratios perfect? Probably not. You can mess with the ratios. You can run all the staples you want, whatever you have access to. For the extra deck, everything else than these cards is basically just extra. So that's why I'm leaving it very bare bones. This is just your budget option. Again, not showing a replay. Now let's get into the real decks. Okay, so first off here, what I think might end up being the best deck of the event, and a deck I may or may not have slightly underestimated on my last tier list video, is Infernobles. So yeah, I mean, Infernobles you really won't be able to go wrong with. The board is insane. This deck is practically unhit for the event. It's basically just full power Infernobles, so it's going to be insane. It's going to set up multiple interruptions. This would be a great reason for you to run probably a Dark Ruler No More. But the thing is, Dark Ruler No More gets negated by Angelic Ring, so I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough dealing with this deck in this event in particular. Maybe some kaijus or something. Maybe Lava Golem will help you do it. This is definitely going to be one of the better decks in the event, undoubtedly. So let's go see some gameplay. All right, so first replay of the video. Also, let me give a quick shout out to Crystal Chaos. Forgot to shout you out in the deck list. But yeah, Crystal Chaos is providing us with the replay on the deck here. So going for Ogre, send the Phoenix Gearfried to the grave. Activating the field spell to search out a Almace, and equipping the Durandal to the Ogre, fetching themselves a Renault, popping the Durandal. Then we get to summon out the Renault, add to our hand back the Gearfried. Then we get to trigger the Gearfried, banishing an equipped spell from our grave to special summon it. Using these two, we go into our Isolde, and we're going to activate Isolde, adding to our hand the Roland. Then we're going to go for Isolde, sending to the grave the Angelic Ring to summon out the Infernoble Knight Ricardetto. I don't even know. Anyway, bring back Ogre with Ricardetto, and we're going to go into the Angelica Princess of Noble Arms. She's going to search out another copy of our field spell, not hard once per turn, by the way, and we get to trigger Ogre, target her, then we get to trigger her effect. If she's targeted, you can banish her, send a card to the grave, banish her, and summon out the Roland. Then we get the effect in the grave of Turpin, equipping to Roland. Because something was equipped, we can trigger our field spell to summon out the Turpin, and using the Turpin as well as the Roland, we can go into our Knight Emperor Charles, and we're going to activate our second field spell. Again, not hard once per turn. Insane card. Fetch another copy of Durandal. Go Durandal, equip to Emperor Charles. And then we're going to pop the Emperor. Okay, no. Then we get to pop the Emperor Charles to summon out the... It's not popping. We basically use him equipped with a card to go into the Link Monster. Then after the Emperor Charles gets equipped to the Link Monster, we get to trigger the effect of the field spell, summon him out. And we get to trigger the Roland Grave, equip it to the Charles. Then we get to go again into Emperor Charles the Great. We get to trigger the Emperor Charles to equip himself with another copy of the Charles and summon out Roland from the grave to go into Ferocious Flame Swordsman, set Imperm, get back Angelica. Then we get to trigger... Oh my god. Alright, so we've got... Basically, this field is Spell and Trap Negate, Spell and Trap Negate. This card will negate a spell on resolution, which means it can negate Droplet, it can negate... Dark Ruler No More. It can also negate, what else? Super Poly, for example, on resolution. So that's really, really good. And what does... I don't know what this one does, so let me just read it real quick. If this card is destroyed by Battle Lord card effect, target one non-link warrior in your grave, special summon it. Okay, so this is just all right. Oh, also you have a monster negate, I believe, with this card right here. Yeah, so this is also a monster negate. So basically we're looking at 4 interruptions here plus the Imperm, which is kind of crazy. Definitely an insane deck, man. I really do genuinely think this is going to be one of the best decks of the event. So our opponent goes for Tenki. On resolution of Tenki, it gets negated by the Angelica's Ring. Then we can go for our Gearfried to negate the Nimble Beaver. Or wait, no, I mean to negate the Keras. My bad. They went for Keras effect there. Then we get to trigger the Magus in the grave, which shuffles back 3 cards into the deck to get a draw. So we draw into another copy of Imperm, not bad at all. They go for Caddy. We get to equip our Roland from hand to the Emperor Charles, and because a card was equipped, we get to trigger Emperor Charles, pop the Caddy. Then on summon of Wally, we're going to equip... No, at the end phase, sorry, we equip the Durandal to our Emperor Charles the Great. So here we can go to battle phase, swing into Wally. Wally triggers, and we're going to negate the Wally with the Gearfried. And let me just fast forward as this resolves here. Negate. Yep. Swing. Do a lot of damage. Big numbers. Big ass numbers. Like, high likelihood that that's the best deck in the event, or at least the best going first deck in the event. Most likely. There's other really, really solid picks, but definitely a top contender right there. Next up here, this deck list is actually from me. So if you guys don't like the deck list, just change the ratios. It's Swordsoul. I think this is probably going to be the most popular deck in the event. Maybe not the best one. I think Infernobles is a little bit better, but Swordsoul does have the advantage of running basically 1 billion hand traps. It's just a really solid deck. It's very well situated for this event, and I think a lot of people will be running it because a lot of people got the campaign structure deck. So you just have this deck lying around. It's super high power for this event. It's just insane, right? I do have a replay. I don't know if you... Look, there's timestamps for the video. If you guys don't want to watch a Swordsoul replay, just go to the next timestamp, I guess. But I think it's a pretty good showcase. All right, so here is my Swordsoul replay. And yeah, again, it's Swordsoul, right? Like, it's not going to be anything fancy. It's very standard, just showing you what the deck can... it can do everything it does, basically. So, you know, we special the Vishada, go into our Link 1. We're going to fast forward here. Normal the Taya, banish the Vishta. Did not get to see Moye this game, but, you know, we go into Shishao. Shishao, get to search, Taya get to dump the Blackout for some setup for later, search the Blackout. We go for the effect of Long One, discard Long One, make ourselves a Baron de Fleur, activate Long One for some burn, and set the Blackout. Look, man, nothing too crazy here, okay? Like, I wasn't trying to go too crazy either. Our opponent's going to normal summon the Black Metal Dragon, go into Striker, then they go Striker effect. I'm just going to Ash the Striker. I'm going to let them search with the Black Metal. Well, actually, I can't stop it because they chain blocked it. But anyway, on Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon effect, I'm just going to negate it. Here they go for World Legacy Guard Dragon. Get back their Black Metal to go into Striker to get another search to summon out the Black Meteor. On summon of Black Meteor, I'm just going to go for Blackout, pop both of these so that they just run out of gas. And it's the end phase. It is my turn. And here I think I do get a little bit disrespectful. So in standby, we're going to go Baron, bring back Taya, banish the Blackout. Then we get to get a token, and Blackout effect on the banish pile gets to give us a token. So we go into Shishao, we get to trigger Taya. They're going to Ash the Taya. Not really a big deal. Either way, Shishao, I'm going to search the Sacred Summit, get back my copy of Long One, using Long One as well as my token, make Baron again, and do another little bit of burn. Go Baron, pop the Guard Dragon, normal summon the Ghost Ogre. Yes, I was BMing a little bit, but, you know, it's an effective replay. It's an effective showcase, right? I mean, it did the job. All right, and next up here, this one is looking a little wild. From Kenny Pickering in the Discord, we have Scareclaw. And yeah, I mean, Scareclaw, you know, is just a good OTK deck, good going second deck. So running 1 billion hand traps is definitely not a bad option for this deck. I would probably run more board breakers, but I mean, I don't think you can really go wrong with this build. Although I do think this is a really expensive build. Running 3 Tryhard, running 3 Lightheart. So, you know, if you guys don't have these, you know, don't worry about it. You could just, like, make the deck a little bit less expensive and still do really well if you have Scareclaw. And I do think Scareclaw is going to be one of the best decks in the event for sure, being able to OTK easily. I highly recommend playing some Kaijus, especially, like, slap a Kaiju on the hardest thing to out, bait a couple interruptions, you know, summon your Tryhard along with a copy of Scareclaw Kashtira, boost your dude, make him attack 2-3 times, and you pretty much have game in the bag there. But let's go see that replay. All right, so let's see Kenny's Scareclaw in action. And probably just going to be seeing like 5 hand traps resolve here. Okay, no, this is a Scareclaw hand. We have the field spell. It's a Scareclaw hand, right? So we're gonna go for Reichphobia, grab the Reichhart. They're gonna Ash Reichhart. I mean, we already have a rival, but this is still pretty bad. I mean, we're probably just gonna be winning off hand traps in a situation like this. Let's fast forward a bit. We're gonna go into our Lightheart. We get to search another copy of our field spell for the grind game. And yeah, set Emperor and pass. I mean, honestly, this hand is so good that it probably just wins. So they're gonna go for Vishta here. Vishta go into Monk of the Tenyi. Then they special summon out. Oh, sorry, that was Ashna. This is Vishta. Special Vishta as well as the what's the other one? Adara. Make a Shishao. We're gonna try to negate the Shishao. They're gonna red reboot and fetch a Emergence, search Taya. Normal Taya, banish the Emergence, and we get to summon a token. They're going to go into the Baxia to get 2 bounces. That's pretty good. We're going to go for Moonlit Chill on the Baxia. And yeah, I mean, so far so good. They're going to go for a Vishta, bounce our Twin Saw, and they're going to activate their Adara to get back their Ashna to hand. They're going to go to Shaman of the Tenyi. Oh, you're overextending, buddy. It's a little dangerous. I think on summon of token here, we're probably, yep, going to go Nibiru on the token. And at that point, we probably just win the game here. We have field spell. Sure, they have Imperm, but I mean, simplified game state against Scareclaw is way too scary. So we're going to go for our field spell here, grab Acro. Then we put our Nib to defense, activate the Arrival, special Reichhart in defense. We get a search and a draw, and they won't Imperm the Reichhart, surprisingly. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we forced it out with our field spell, so it is what it is. We're going to go into a Lightheart, and they're just going to scoop it up. Pretty good replay. Yep, Nib won the game. You know, it's, yeah, Nib. Nibiru's a good card. All right, now from Snowy Orca, we have Mannadium. And yeah, I mean, Mannadium is really crazy. Keep in mind though, the fusion is not legal for this event because fusions are not legal in this event. So, you know, you will lose a bit of extension. That's why he's not even running the cross sheep, because there's literally no reason to run cross sheep in this build. I still think this is going to be a really solid deck. Definitely one of the upper echelon decks of the event. Is going to be really, really crazy. But, you know, you get to run a good amount of hand traps, a good amount of staples. I do have some nitpicks about his particular build. Like, if you're just going to run one of the Scareclaw field spell and one of the Scareclaw Link monster, I feel like you should probably not be running 3 of Arrival, but, you know, what do I know? And, like, it is useful. You get to bring back Starfrost, so surely, you know, the good outweighs the bad there. I'm not going to be nitpicking too much. It's not a deck review. Shout out Snowy Orca. This list still looks super powerful, so let's go see that replay in action. All right, so from Snow Orca here, let's see Mannadium in action. Ooh, both on the... Yo, honestly, both on the snow field looks nice. So we've got Meek, Torrid, Reamheart, Called By, and Obsession. Can't really go wrong with this hand. So normal Torrid, pop the Torrid with the Obsession to get ourselves a Calarium. Then we get to go Torrid effect, summon out the Meek, and activate the Calarium, searching a Visa Starfrost. We're going to go for Reamheart, targeting our Meek to special summon the Reamheart, and we get to trigger the Meek in the grave, trigger Reamheart, and we can chain block all of that with our Calarium. So Calarium will bring back from the grave our Meek, and we get to search a reframing with Reamheart, special a Meek from the deck, go into Trisukta. Trisukta, bring back the Torrid, then using these two, we go into Visa's Amritara. Amritara, we're going to search a Scareclaw Arrival. Okay, interesting. And then we go into Scareclaw Lightheart. Lightheart, search the field spell. Okay, I really like this. Then we go Obsession effect in the grave, summon out the Starfrost, activate our Reichphobia, search. Okay, yeah, Reichheart, special in defense, get a search and a draw. We have 2 Arrival. Using these 2, we go into a copy of Sprite Elf. Then using those 2, we can go into a Savage. Savage, equip the Lightheart, activate the Arrival, bring back the Reichheart. We get to make probably a Baron. Yep. Summoning out Baron de Fleur, then we can go Sprite Elf, bring back the Torrid, activate Arrival, bring back the Reichheart. What do you make with these 2? Oh, IP Masquerena. Makes sense. And you set reframing. So, I mean, yo, this is 1 Omni, 2 Omni, so 3 Omni negates, plus the IP Masquerena, plus the Elf bring back, and the targeting protection. This is really, really good. All right, let's see what our opponent tries to do here. They're going to go for a Dark Hole. Obviously, we got to negate Dark Hole. We can't let that go through. And we also chain our Elf here, bringing back Meek from the grave. Might as well. Gives us an extra material for the IP Masquerena, so we might as well summon that as early as possible. And let's just fast forward a little bit here. Oh, they're just... Oh, okay, you're just going straight into it. Just go straight Appaloosa time on resolution. All right. So Vanisher, we're going to use our Appaloosa effect to negate the Vanisher. Really interesting. All right, and then what? Are they going to go battle phase, beat over it? Nope, going for Photon Orbital. Then they go Orbital Equip effect, and we're going to go Called By on Orbital. That's really cooked. I mean, realistically, this guy can't do anything. Like, Photon cannot play through that many interruptions. They can barely play through one half the time, so... Going for Galaxy Photon Dragon here, and we're just going to Appaloosa the Photon Dragon. Like this, okay. Beat over the Appaloosa. Like, what are you even... Okay, yeah. You just, bro couldn't do anything. It is what it is, you know, it happens. So anyway, we're going to go back on Pop, and then we go Battle, do a little bit of a swing. All right, so not going for game yet. I mean, I don't think we really had access to game unless we went for Baron Bounce effect from the grave. I don't know why we didn't do that, but maybe the revive wasn't worth it. Either way, not like our opponent has a chance here. I can't believe we just Omni negated the Whitestone. Like, that's funny as hell. Anyway, draw into... Oh, dude, Scareclaw Cashier is crazy here. But we just pop the Linkaribo and go for game. No BM. Shout out Snow Orca for that. Appreciate it. Sometimes I get petty, but clearly you don't. You're the bigger man. That was a good... That was a good showcase. Mannadium looking really solid, and honestly, that was just a really good replay. Anyway, next deck. Next up here from Digi-Destined Keyblader in my Discord is Ignister. Now, MathMech is pretty much hit to the ground. They might not seem like it. You might go like, well, Circular's at 1. This is fine. They don't have their XCs, so I really don't think MathMech is going to be very good, honestly. I mean, maybe it's still playable. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm not covering it in this video. I really don't think it's great. Either way, though, Ignister is still a really solid pick for a Link deck. It's really, really good, has good consistency, a lot of gas, can set up really hard to break boards, literally, with its Towers monster. It's a good deck. If you guys already have Ignister, I mean, I don't think you could go wrong with that. I think that's going to be a really good pick for this event. Thanks again, Keyblader, for the list, and let's go check out that replay. All right, we've got a 7-turn replay here, so we're going to press fast forward because I don't want this video to be an hour long. But let's just see the Ignisters in action. You don't see Ignister a lot on my channel. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with them. But at this point, after hating Mathmech so much, seeing just pure Ignister is just bringing me pure bliss, dude. So here we go, summoning out the Achichi, searching the Pikari, which is at 1, to summon Infant, and we get to search our field spell. Field spell, we get to special summon a Pikari from the hand and search our Tie Strike. After that, with these two, we're going to go into Cyber's Wicked, trigger our field spell again to summon the Doyon at Ignister. Doyon is going to bring back the Achichi to our hand here. Then we can search a Bururu at Ignister, summon out a Transcode Talker. Then we get to trigger our effect of the field spell, summon out the Bururu, send to the grave our, this is basically an Omni Negate in the grave. It's called Donmari, and we get to go into our Dark Templar, summon out again from hand to make our Infant again, and we get to trigger the Templar. We move our Ignister Infant, summon 3 from the grave, summon out the Earth Ignister, what's it called? I forget. Doshin, and we get to Link 6, make a big 6,000 attack tower monster, completely unaffected, really hard to out, unless your opponent's playing Crusadia and they have a Kaiju. And we're playing against Mathmech Kashtira. I've never seen this before. So they're going to set up a Shangri-Era and Indigo Eclipse. Oh my god, this is going to be a messy replay. Preparations, bring back the Tier Limits Kashtira. Then we get to trigger and standby phase, summon out the Scareclaw Cash. We're going to go for Cybers at Ignister to pop the Shangri-Era, but it can dodge the pop basically. And we're going to attack for a good chunk of damage here. Moving on to turn 4, our opponent is going to trigger the Shangri-Era to summon out the Fenrir. Fenrir is going to search Unicorn. I don't think this deck can out the Ad Ignister. Yeah, so summon the Arise Heart. That doesn't do anything. Like, you guys need a Kaiju. You need a Kaiju. Oh, maybe they have Goddess? If you don't have Goddess, you should just Coop, honestly. Yeah, he's unaffected. What are you guys doing? What are you even trying? What is this? Am I missing something here? Is this guy just pressing buttons? He is. This dude is literally just pressing buttons. Going to end phase. Okay, bro. Okay, dude. Whatever. Yeah, summon out the Scareclaw Cash. No wonder this was a long duel. This dude was just fucking around. Alright, try to pop again just for fun. And yeah, okay. Go to battle, beat over the Arise Heart. Yeah, this is fine. We still get to beat over it. Okay, yeah, you're locking zones. None of that matters. None of that shit matters. This dude is completely unaffected. Honestly, this dude could have just kept just summoning monsters in defense and just made this duel last forever if that's what he wanted. Could have probably won by deck out. Anyway, Mech Knight of the Morning Star here. That won't do anything either. Okay. Going into Spectrum Supreme. Attack directly. Oh. But now you lose. What a weird replay. Okay, dude. Well, anyway. Dude, this... like, stop. Bro, why? Okay. Why do you keep trying to pop it? Just swing for game, bro. What are you doing? Just swing for game. He's right here. He is right here. Thank you. Pretty weird replay. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty hard in this event to out. But, you know, maybe people will be running Kaijus and this won't be that great. It'll really depend. I mean, I think you should run at least one Kaiju this event, just in case you see Ignister a lot. But if you're not seeing it, I guess you can side it out. Either way, moving on. All right, only 2 more decks to showcase here, and this one is from me. I cooked this up myself, so if you guys don't like the ratios, change them around. You know, it doesn't need to look exactly the same. If you think the Jet Synchron stuff is win more, just remove it. But I think Rescue Ace Snake Eyes is by far the best way to play Snake Eyes in this event. The Snake Ash is banned, so I think this build has like a lot of flexibility and doesn't really need Snake Ash as much. Now, it would be nice to have it, but not having it is not the end of the world. You can still just rely on the Wanted engine to get you into your Poplar, and then Poplar can hook you up with the nice Snake Eye spell and just fetch out your Hydrant if you need it, or if not, I am running the 2 other Snake Eye monsters that we do have access to in order to just get into some link plays. So you definitely have a lot of flexibility with this deck. It also has a really crazy grind game because Snake Eyes has a crazy grind game. That's just what it is, you know? I have a really good replay for this deck actually where I kind of bricked at the start, but just because of the grind game, I was able to grind it out and get to win the game. So let's go check that out. All right, so let's get into it here, showcasing the Rescue Snakes. And yeah, as you can see, this hand doesn't look that bad. It's more so that it's just the interruption really that made it rough for me. I could have probably played it better, but I went for the field spell, set up the Flamberge, 1-for-1 discard Poplar, and I get ashed. That was pretty risky, but my idea was like, oh, you know, I'll get to go Impulse after. but I misread Impulse. Impulse is if a monster effect is activated on the field. So my idea was if I get Ash, I just go Impulse, but yeah, anyway, I misplayed. Okay, it was a misplay. Anyway, on summon, I get to bring out the Flamberge. Then they're going to trigger an effect on the field, which will allow me to go for Rescue Ace Impulse. So we're going to do just that. Let's just fast forward on Resolve here. So Impulse, I'm going to summon out the Fire Attacker, and they're going to summon out the Chamber Dragon Maid. Now, Fire Attacker, because they added a card to hand, I can draw 2 and discard 1. That's why I went for this guy. And we did get to discard a Jet Synchron, which is really good. So our opponent is going to go into Striker Dragon, and they're kind of like Jadistic is kind of comboing off here. Going into Romulus. I don't have a lot of interruption, obviously. My board is nothing too impressive. So, you know, grab the Rocket Tracer, going for Ravine. Ravine, discard Gamma, send Safer to grave. Then we activate the Boot Sector. Boot Sector, summon out the Rocket Tracer. Tracer, pop the field spell. Then we summon out the Recharger, make ourselves a Pisty, go into Triple Burst Dragon, get to trigger the Pisty, summon out the Safer. Then we're going to use all of these to go into a Borland Dragon. Pretty hard to out for my deck, but it is outable. So they're going to go and swing into my Flamberge. Not really a fan of this because I do get to summon 2 from my grave. Not really sure why you did that. Either way, I get to go Poplar effect, grab myself a Snake Eye, and then we get the Poplar to put the Flamberge back in the back row. They're going for another Borland. We're actually going to boost our dude with Reinforce just so they can't out our Fire Attacker. I want to keep him on the field at least as link material as we're trying to play through this dude. Very good card, and I don't know what these 2 are, obviously, so I need to be careful here. Going for Airlifter, search Alert. Alert can bring back the Impulse from my grave. This was a bit of a silly play. The thing is, like, in my head, Impulse would be able to trigger, but I forgot you literally can't respond to Borland Dragon, so I won't be able to respond to Borland with my Impulse, unfortunately. Either way, here we go for Snake Eye, send the Flamberge to grave to summon out the Oak. Then I get my Oak effect. I decide not to trigger Flamberge, I'll just do Flamberge later. They're going to go for Imperm on my Oak, which is a little bit annoying. Now I kind of wish I just triggered the Flamberge that early. You know, I would definitely misplayed a couple of times this replay, but I still think it's a really good showcase. So bring back the Jet Synchron. We get Tidied, banish the Synchron. Pretty sad, but it is what it is. Trigger the Fire Attacker since the card was added to hand, and they're going to negate with the Borland here. Pretty unfortunate. So bring back the Tracer. Now we don't have to think about interruption at least. So summon out the Promethean, bring back the Flamberge. Flamberge, I'm going to put Tracer in the back row and go for Amblo Whale. It's because I couldn't put this guy in the back row, by the way. Otherwise, I would have done that. Anyway, so bring back the Oak. Go Oak effect. Summon Phoenix. Phoenix discard to pop and get a draw. And, dude, you guys need to see my top deck, okay? You guys need to see my top deck. Because, you know, Phoenix, if it's co-link, you get a draw. Turbulence, baby. So we go Turbulence. Banish 2 from the grave. Summon out the Turbulence. Oh, my goodness. And, yeah, obviously, Turbulence effect here. We're going to set 4 cards from the deck. Oh my god, bro. That top deck was so crazy, I had to show it. Then I'm going to swing, and then I'm going to remember, oh wait, this dude can't be destroyed by battle. I still have to go for Goddess. So we go for a White Woman jump scare. White Woman jump scare, right? And just go to end phase. At this point, though, we have a lot of control over the game. We're going to go for Rescue in the standby phase, in the draw phase, just to bring back our Fire Attacker, so that if they add a card to hand, we get 2 draws and a discard. Then on summon, we get to summon out our Flamberge, and we're going to go for Extinguish to pop. I don't want them to get into their links at all. I don't want them to play at all, basically. So anyway, we get to summon out the Flamberge. By the way, love that animation on Flamberge. They're going to go for Legacy Guard Dragon, and I'm obviously going to negate Guard Dragon with the Goddess here. I mean, like I said, bro, I still think this was like a really good showcase for the deck. They get to go for the Tidying Engrave to special out the Chamber Dragon Maid, but we do get to go for Promethean Princess, pop it, pop the Flamberge, get the summon to Oak, bring back the Jet Synchron, and then pass turn back to me. And I think I BM a little bit here. Okay, no, I didn't BM. I just went for game. Okay. Thank goodness. Thank goodness I didn't BM. But yeah, genuinely, I think this list is really, really strong. And this is probably what I'm going to be playing for the event, because I really like Snake Eyes, and I'm pretty happy with the list I made. I mean, I literally whipped it up myself, and I think it's really good. So probably going to be playing this for the event. Now we're going to move on to our final deck. All right, so for this one, this is more so cool than amazing, you know? It's Vanquish Soul, and the only hit they did to Vanquish Soul was put RAZEN to 1, or RAZEN, whatever you want to call it. Either way, this deck was sent by Mazinger. It's really awesome. It's a mix of Vanquish Soul and Synchrons, and it's really interesting. Basically, you can use the Revolution Synchron with any level 4 to get into your Riser, so you're lifting the ceiling, and you're not really adding consistency to the Vanquish Soul engine as much as you're adding like Plan Bs and Plan Cs if you can't get into your RAZEN. So shout out Moz for making this work. It looks really awesome. I don't think this is the most optimal thing ever, and most people probably don't have these cards, but I still want to showcase it because it's badass. So let's go see that replay. All right, so final duel for this video. Let's see the deck in action. Clean looking field, very nice against this drab green field over here. So we're going to go for Stake Your Soul, revealing Assault Synchron to summon out the Dr. Madlove. Madlove is going to search the Vanquished Soul, continue. Then we get to trigger Revolution Synchron in hand with our Madlove to go into Power Tool Dragon. This is awesome because Power Tool can search Durandal, and Durandal can get you to your RAZEN. And we haven't normal summoned yet, so we're going to go for Durandal, equipped to Power Tool. Durandal effect, pop itself to search RAZEN, normal RAZEN, get to search the Jiaolong, then we get to go for RAZEN effect, reveal a fire. That way we can trigger the Jiaolong in hand to summon it. Then we can go into our Rock of the Vanquisher. Rock of the Vanquisher can add back to our hand the copy of RAZEN so that we have 2 fires in hand. That way we can go Jiaolong effect, reveal 2 fires, fetch our trap card, and from here we go Assault Synchron plus Jiaolong into Shooting Riser Dragon. Riser, send the Panther to grave, and using these 2 we can go into Baron, dude. Baron. Then we get to trigger Revolution Synchron, send to grave a Diabel Star to summon the Synchron. Then we can go continue, bring back our Pantera, make Naturia Beast, dude. Naturia Beast plus the trap. Have you ever seen such an insane Vanquished Soul board? I sure haven't. Naturia Beast Baron and the Vanquished Soul Snow Devil? This is crazy. So anyway, that was pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. They're gonna go for Droplet. Droplet, that's the perfect card here. Droplet for 3 and Black Whirlwind. Yeah, that's kind of insane. So they're going for Blackwing Zonda, summon out the Simoon as well as the Shamal. They get to add the Vada to the hand. Summon out the Vada. We're gonna go for our Snow Devil. Oh, we're not wiping. We're just summoning. Oh, okay, I see. So you're trying to pop the Vada before it gets to activate. That's pretty smart. So RAZEN, reveal a fire and a dark. We get to pop the Vada, and then they're gonna go for their Blackwing Full Armor Master. Respectable. I mean, isn't this dude like unaffected? Yeah. I mean, it's unaffected. It can still be destroyed by battle though, so I'm sure we can figure something out here. They're gonna go to battle phase, beat over the Baron de Fleur, obviously. But I think we have this in the bag. I mean, this is looking really good. So we get into Madlove. We activate our Stake Your Soul, revealing Burger to summon a Madlove from the deck, actually. Going for Madlove effect, grab the Dust Devil. Then they get to, yeah, okay, whatever. We don't care about the token. Go for Heavy Burger, summon the Heavy Burger. By bouncing our RAZEN, we can reveal a dark, get a draw. Rhoda is kind of nice, although we don't really need it anymore. Go for RAZEN. RAZEN, search the Caesar Valius. Oh, I guess we can just crash and go for game, actually. We're going to link 1 into Rock of the Vanquisher. Then we go Rock of the Vanquisher, add back to hand the Pantera, and they keep putting a bunch of counters that do nothing on the field. Bounce our RAZEN to summon out the Caesar Valius. Then we can reveal 3 to pop what? Pop what? Oh, okay. Okay, sure. Fair enough. Now we go for Jiaolong. Since we revealed a card in hand, we can summon him. Yeah, crash and just go for game. All right. That was a really, really good replay. Super impressive stuff, man. Really impressive. Now, obviously, with a deck like this, your main issue is there's no flowchart, right? It's not always going to be the same combo. But man, that was badass. Moz bringing a fire replay yet again. Love to see it. That's going to be it for this video, though. So I hope this video was useful. I hope it gave you guys some ideas, maybe helped you brainstorm a little bit. I can't wait to play this event and not have to deal with Maxi and Droll for yet another format. I hope they just keep doing this for every single event, dude. No Maxi is such a breath of fresh air for these events. It should be every event has no Maxi. Seriously. But anyway, guys, let me know what you thought in the comments. Let me know what you're going to play for the event if you're not playing any of these decks. And leave a like, you know, do the YouTube things. Peace.